Hi, this is Professor David Farina, and in this video I'm going to be discussing the Dawn of the Space Age Semester Project Pre-Mission Research. This document is a very important document in our research in that it is the description for what was done prior to the mission that you are researching. In other words, how was the spacecraft built? How was the spacecraft launched? Who were the people involved in the building process? And I'm going to just work you through this document today so that you have a better understanding on how to even get started. So first off, it's very important that you list the space mission at the top of the page, and I would also like you to have the official URL for your mission. So a number of websites are warehouses for these. The biggest one is probably the Jet Propulsion's Laboratory. Another one is the Goddard Space Flight Center. NASA's websites are somewhat redundant, so you're going to have to spend some time to look through these. Sometimes college and university websites are used as the main website for some of these missions. So please, if you ever have any questions, shoot me an email and let me know so that I can help you. I have no problem in doing that. For this part of the project, it is absolutely critical that you treat this document as kind of like a catch-all. And what I mean by that is you should be placing on this document all of your URLs for your citations. In the end, you will need to have MLA citation, but for now, a simple citation in an HTML style format, the URL, I should say, would be sufficient. Within this box is where all of the answers to this particular question should go. So with each question, I've produced a box and a citation location for you so that it's very quick and easy to try to make sure you've hit all of the points on this project. You've answered as many of the questions as you possibly can. There are going to be some of the questions that are going to be more challenging for you, but you should have these in your own words. Be careful not to just copy and paste here. You also should be adding any diagrams, pictures, charts, and graphs that you would find along the way that would be useful in the production of your final product in terms of the presentation. So if you find a really good diagram, picture, chart, graph, a map, depending on where your mission is going, also might be something you could find, artists' renditions, any simulations that you can find. All of this stuff is really helpful in the end to just use this document kind of as a splash page for your research. So I'm going to now work you through each section, and hopefully in watching the video you'll have a better idea of what you're doing. So mission overview and timeline. In this section, I'm asking you to do a very brief mission overview and give us the highlights. If you're able to find some sort of a timeline, that's wonderful. If not, you should try to piece together a basic timeline of, what was the start time of the building process of your spacecraft? When was it launched? When was it planned, or is it planned to reach your target, which is the planet or moon or asteroid or whatever the final location, the destination of this mission will be? When is it planned to get there? When is it supposed to be doing its science, or when did it do its science? So, this basic overview here is a very high-level overview, not meant to be extremely detailed, but sufficiently detailed to give us a sense that, someone else could come in who doesn't know anything about this and could understand it. Building the spacecraft innovative technology. So this particular section has to do with, the actual building process. Engineers were involved. technicians were involved, and scientists were involved in the building of the spacecraft. So when and where was it built? What organizations were involved? Who were the people involved, if you can find it? What were the special and innovative new materials needed for this? So, for instance, some of these missions have required us to produce brand new materials never ever used before. So, aerogel, for instance, in the requirements to capture an asteroid's dust, or sorry, a comet's dust tail. So this was a new technology. Does your spacecraft have any need for something like this? The Apollo missions, for instance, they had to make computers capable of fitting within the spacecraft itself. At that time, during the Apollo era, a spacecraft's computer was the size of an entire room. So to cram that into a spacecraft module would be very much a new piece of technology. In the next section here, we have describe how your mission uses the following technologies. Notice this part, not all will apply, many of them will. So propulsion types, power types, telecommunications, both on space-based and ground-based. Any kind of software engineering, entry, descent, and landing. Anything autonomous, so like AI. Technology for severe environments, maybe where you're going is hostile to the spacecraft, it needs some sort of shielding. Sterilization of equipment. This is oftentimes when we're landing a lander somewhere like Mars, and we don't want it to get contaminated things from Earth, like microbes from Earth on Mars, especially when you're looking for life. Control systems, remote. So how are we controlling the spacecraft? Life support. If there's a human mission, we might need to have some sort of life support system. Transportation for humans. Launch abort systems. If you have a human on board, the thing to get you off of the spacecraft and abort, like an ejection seat, but basically for a spacecraft. Radiation shelters, once again for humans only. Control/computers, some sort of controls, if we're steering the spacecraft. So I can't think of all of these, so this last category is very important. Insert your own here if necessary. Add lines if necessary. So if there's more you can come up with, please, please, please add them on. And keep them in red here so that I know what has been added. Launch vehicle. So we want to know more about the actual launch vehicle itself. This might be completely separate from the spacecraft. This is the rocket part of the mission. So what kind of rocket was used? Insert an image of the launch vehicle. I want to see pictures. As I said, pictures, diagrams, charts, graphs, artist renditions, engineering design plans. All of these things are really kind of important to making this more of a scientific rather than a historical project. I want to see details. I want to know what exactly the mission was. What was the science that was being done here? What was the engineering that was being done here? Does it have multiple stages in the rocket? Does it have more than one rocket built on top of one another? Is the launch vehicle reusable? This is something new. So odds are the answer is no, but sometimes they were. Space Shuttle was the first of the really mostly reusable spacecraft. And up until recently, we have seen, we've only started to see some of these reusable spacecraft. What were the types of fuel? So rockets come in many different types. What were their thrust levels? Give me design specifications here. Mission launch. So insert an image of the actual launch of your mission. Show me the rocket going up. If you can find a video, bring that in. That would be great. Give me the launch mission date. And that is pre-mission research. So hopefully this helps you in your creation of your Dawn of the Space Age semester projects. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Thanks for watching. See you next time.